We're back. Here. Back live. Here we go. We're back. Gonna have some kerfuffles. Definitely way better internet than Lake City. That I can promise you. Camera may be a little more touchy though. But there's our boxes. Let everybody get back in here. Here come the eyeballs. I hope I didn't lose anybody for good. They're back. They're back. Thomas is back. Thomas is back. Where's Sadek? He's back, then we know we're back. No, Ray's camera is actually a lot cheaper than mine, evidently, but Mrs. Witt does all the shopping for the electronics in that house, I heard, so she got a pretty nice camera, I guess. I would like to do some live fills. Really would like to do some live fills. With 46 boxes, it's going to be tough, I think. You know, Sadek can only step in for, you know, a large chunk of those. As we know he will. But like I said, I mean, it's the best time to get your spots because they'll never be cheaper than they are now. Obviously, your odds are as long as they will ever be. But, you know, 46 is probably the most I'll ever have, even when I do reloads. But I'm out of Jersey. I'm in Jersey. Can't tell my Jersey accent. Jersey through and through. Yeah, so 46 boxes is, you know, it's as long an odds as you're ever gonna have. But it's the cheapest, of course, the spots will ever be. And just to let people know, you know, some of the lesser jerseys, I actually snuck in an extra custom jersey into some of those boxes. So there's a handful, you know, 5 or 6, 4 or 5. I don't remember exactly how many I stuffed in for this first batch, but you know, the winner of that jersey, whichever spot they buy, is also going to get a bonus custom jersey as well, just to get them out of my house, just to reward somebody for having a lower valued spot. But there's some good ones in there. You guys can see the videos as well as the pictures I posted on the Facebook page, and you know, they're all I told Sadek there, we're all hand selected. You know, obviously, I know my stuff. I'm a collector as much as you guys are, so you know, I don't want to put any junk in there. I like to have a little bit of something for everybody. You know, I don't have every team represented yet, but pretty darn close. I mean, there's about 28 or 29 of the 32 teams actually have a jersey, so there is no front, and I do not want one. There's only one in existence, and it's in your possession. So, Yeah, Jersey's got to represent. Definitely got to represent. Yeah, it's going to be tough, Thomas. I would love to see us get the audience for the live fills with. I mean, I think once we get down to, you know, between like 30, 32, 33 to, less little less than 40. That's probably the sweet spot for getting a decent group in here. Obviously, you want to build the audience and then the clientele. But like I said, I mean, most people that have been in Ray's room and cover two or top notch with Rob. I mean, yeah, pick your player jerseys is the most fun to me. I mean, if you want to go shopping for big name jerseys and pay $40 a spot, for 1 in 25 or 30 chance at huge name jerseys. I mean, to me that's no fun. I've never been a fan of team random either. Paying $20 a spot and having total team random. If you know exactly what jerseys are in there, you're still getting the team at random, and I've never been a big fan of that. Like I said, I like being able to buy your own teams with the hit parade or pick your player with the waffle board break. So it's I mean, there's something for everybody. Everybody's got their own, their niche, their favorite style of breaking. But I liked having the chance of selecting the player and chasing those players because, like I said, you guys know how many jerseys I've hit as well as some of the people in the room have hit. It can be a labor of love chasing a spot. Some jerseys go forever. We know a couple that never got hit, so it's painful. But in the meantime, you're able to hit other jerseys that kind of alleviates the pain of that. So it's definitely something we need. I mean, nobody else was doing it, so I took it upon myself to start researching and collecting these inventory to start these up. I collect. I mean, like I said, I did cards for many years. I gravitated towards the jerseys because I felt that was something I could focus more on. I'm not a big fan of the young guns, and that became the rage. All the rage it still is in hockey, and I don't want to spend big bucks for a guy that's played 2 games in the NHL and will never appear again. To me it's nonsensical. Obviously the studs everybody wants, and those are the prices that are going to be through the roof at all times. But with the way people have taken to grading, grading young guns is all the rage. That's where money goes into in the hobby. And then, like I said, I was always a fan of jersey cards, even though they're not as popular and not as rare as they once were. Autographs are great. Hard signed autographs are extra great. You don't see many. Obviously, the logistics make it difficult for the companies to have an opportunity for the players to hard sign the cards. Upper Deck still. I mean, as much as they have their down parts, the fact that they get hard signed cards is still pretty amazing to me. I mean, they're high end products. But when they stick stickers on high end products, I'm like, seriously, you're spending 10 grand for a case of cup and sticker autos. I mean, that's to me that's just cheating the collector. But like I said, it's as much a industry for prospectors as it is industry for collecting now. So you got to deal with both elements. I think the people that are investing, they really don't care if it's a sticker autograph or not. If you have players that are coming close to leaving this green earth, like the Howls and the Orrs and the Borje Salmings. I mean that's if they get them on a sticker, it's still it's still at least you have that autograph, and you're able to put it in products for years down the road. It's just an opportunity for younger collectors to get a hard signed or even a sticker autograph card of a player that they never saw. It's just heard legend about. Upper Deck years ago once they kind of cornered the market. I think it might be for a couple years. I think it was their only sport car product. Obviously, they started doing the college stuff. They had like the college license, but of the 4 major sports, that was Upper Deck's bread and butter. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the politics of the card industry is too numerous and varied and political and money. That's what matters. But like I said, I mean, people turn to turned up their nose to Panini, but I liked a lot of their products because I just felt that they put some effort into it. It's even though their quality control could be lacking at times. Upper Decks is nothing to shine, full marks for. So it's, I mean, you took your lumps with both of the companies, but at least you had a competition, with Panini and Upper Deck. I mean, it's been many years since we had Score and all the full years. Those companies are independent companies. Obviously Upper Deck bought a lot of the names to the Parker stuff, the OPG stuff. It's not the same product it was. It's now part of Upper Deck anyway. So, like I said, I think, is anybody missing? I think we have most of our viewers. I don't want to wait too long to pop this baby. Let me see. I have my trusty 6-sided die, so we can decide which box we're going to break. They're in numerical order from top to bottom. 8, 57, and 92. So 1, 2 will be box 8. 3, 4 would be 57, and 5, 6 will be 92. Let's see what we got. That's a 6. That'll be box 92. Okay. Trusty knife. Okay. Box 92 it is. Let's see. Yeah, Panini. I like to see Panini. Would like to see them work on getting the hockey thing back, but I'm not sure if they want to dedicate their assets, their money and their assets and their efforts to that. Okay. So box 92 it is. Like I said, every team has been bought except Arizona, and Arizona will go to everybody at random. So no matter what, if you have a spot or 2 or 3 or 5 or 6, those are your odds for hitting Arizona if it does come out to be a Coyotes jersey. I will do that. I'll film that separately, and then I'll post that to the YouTube and Facebook page just so you guys can see the random for that. I have the random.org. I'll throw everybody's team names into there. So let's do this. Okay. Box 92, Series 7. Oh, our friends, our buddies, Aaron Ekblad, the Reebok with the Upper Deck Authenticated. Very good. He gets one of those in one of the mystery boxes as well. So Aaron Ekblad it is. Let's see who had Florida. That was one of the late grabs, I believe. And that's Sadek, yes. Sadek hits the Aaron Ekblad is the initial break for WAFFLEBOARD Break Hit Parade. So there we go. Yes, that is you, Sadek. You were one of the grabs that grab one of the teams that was left. So you are a winner again. I told you you're hot. You said you don't feel you're warming up because you hadn't been any breaks in a while, but there you are. Very, very nice. So it's a nice Reebok jersey. I don't know if you want me to take it out. It's in a nice bag. I can just ship it back on it. So yeah, Sadek is definitely warming up as the NBA Jam style. He's warming up. He's heating up. Yeah, so beware of him once we get going into the WAFFLEBOARD breaks. Pick your player stuff because he's going to be looking to score some jerseys. So there we go. Like I said, I'm happy we got one out of the way. Unfortunately, you had to do it on Facebook. I don't mind if doing it on Facebook. Obviously the YouTube is, I'm going to upload to YouTube anyway. But I said if I become more comfortable working with the Facebook Live, I don't mind. It seems to be pretty easy to run. So if, like I said, definitely looked. I have another box up for Hit Parade. One of those last 2 boxes that was up for Sunday's break. We have the Pick Your Player WAFFLEBOARD breaks for Friday. So like I said, we're probably far away from doing live fills, but I do have a price sheet You know, the spots are very cheap, obviously, to start off because so many boxes. But you know, if we get enough push for it, you know, we'll be able to film. But I really feel we're going to take, you know, at least a half dozen or so before we can get enough people in the room active to buy the spots. But congratulations again. Sadek is on the board with Ekblad. Nice to have Ekblad Reebok. So I'll get that shipped out to him right away. And then you guys will be back here hopefully on Friday for spots if you got them for the pick your player break. And till then, you know, very happy. Thank you for being here, everybody. You know, we're gonna be getting, we'll get better as we go. You know, I'm looking forward to keeping this going. I mean, it's been, like I said, it's been months now. What, 3 months? How many months has it been since Black Label left us? You know, I feel like a wife that has been left. So it's good. What's up, Nick? I said, what's up, Nick? We just had the Hit Parade box break. Sadek hit the Aaron Ekblad Reebok right out of the Hit Parade box. So obviously it's not a, you know, custom. That's still a nice Reebok jersey, Upper Deck authenticated, and that's from his rookie year, I think, when they Upper Deck had the signing with Ekblad. So I mean, those are still pretty nice jerseys. So other than that, like I said, you know, looking forward to seeing you guys on Friday. Definitely. Thank you very much. We'll be better. Thank you much, guys.